Still of the night, I think of you. My heart beats with every thought of.
Mma went into her room to lie down, trying not to think about Angela and her unwanted visit. She assured herself that there was no way Uche could have invited her to stay with him. If he was in need of a female company, he would have invited her and not Angela, she thought happily. But at the back of her mind, a little niggling thought continued to worry her. How did she expect Uche to invite her when he knew she was not going to satisfy his intimate needs? The thought stole into her mind. What he needed was a woman who would share his bed and not just his company. Stop it, she screamed at herself. I trust him. If not, he would have continued nagging her, but he had been patiently waiting for their wedding night. Maybe because he was getting his needs sated somewhere else, the voice taunted yet. I trust him, she said aloud and firmly and closed her eyes tightly, trying to keep her mind from wandering along those lines. Mma woke up with a start. It was dark and she was confused, sure that something woke her. Then the phone rang again and she grabbed it from her bedside. Hello? She said sleepily. Hey! Uche's voice came through the phone. Uche! She called, waking up and sitting up. Of course it's me. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. The phone woke me. When are you coming back? Missing me that much? More than you can ever imagine. I miss you too, but cheer up. The day after tomorrow, he announced. That's 2 days away? Yes, it is. Sure you can wait that long? I'll be counting the minutes. I will land in the morning by 7:30, so I'll see you in the afternoon at your boutique. Okay? She replied, trying to hide her disappointment. Why didn't he ask her to come over to the house or wait for him at the airstrip? I hope you're not overworking yourself, Uche asked. No, I'm not. How about you? The thought of you is responsible for wearing me out, not work. You don't know how these few days has been for me without you. I know, because I've been feeling same way too. Why don't we get a special license and get married this weekend? Asked Uche. I would love to, but we will not have enough time for honeymoon because I'll be working tooth and nail to have my exhibition the next weekend. On the 27th it is then? Yes, on the 27th, and I'll become yours at last. You are mine already. A piece of document doesn't make a difference. I love you, Uche. Just come back safely and I'll show you how much. And how exactly are you planning to show me? He asked. When you come back, it's a surprise. I can't wait. 2 days seems too far now. Mma laughed. Just make sure you don't postpone it again. Not anymore. I won't. I can't wait to see your lovely eyes again. It seems like an eternity I saw you last. Is that all you miss about me? Mma asked, not really satisfied that her pretty face was what he was missing. He should be missing her, not just her face. Of course not. I'm just being patient till the right time to show you, he replied. Oh, that's not what I meant, but what? She teased, remembering what Eva told her about his preferences in women. You will see on the 27th. You are a witch, do you know that? Do you know what pictures you are invoking in my mind? How could I, when you have refused to tell me? You will pay for this agony I'm going through on the 27th. Now I'm quaking in my shoes. Better be, he laughed. Mma loved the sound of his laughter. Sighing, she closed her eyes happily. Angela lied, she said to herself happily. Are you going sleepy on me? No, I'm just happy. I better ring off and let you get some sleep. Oh no, don't. I'm not feeling sleepy. Don't worry, I'll be with you soon. I love you, Mma said earnestly. Remember, the only one who can love you so completely. Always have that at the back of your mind. I know. See you on Saturday. Dream of me, he said. Mma dropped the phone and smiled at herself dreamily. So Angela was lying. There was no way Uche could have asked her to come when he was coming back on Saturday, she thought. Saturday dawned bright and sunny, a perfect day for a reunion, mused Mma, contented as she came out from the bathroom. She glanced momentarily at the wall clock. He must have landed by now, she thought, hurrying up. She didn't want to arrive late and spoil her surprise. Taking one last look at herself in the mirror, she snatched her car keys from her bed and left the room. Mma arrived at Uche's house very early. She came out of her car and walked briskly to the house, thinking only of how surprised Uche would be to see her waiting for him. The thought brought a smile to her face. The snobbish housekeeper opened the door for her. To her surprise, the woman smiled at her while warmly ushering her in. "Mr. Uche has just arrived." "So where is he?" she asked, a little bit disappointed that her surprise was spoiled. "In his room enjoying himself." There was still a chance that she could surprise him, she thought, and started moving towards the bedroom. "Do you think that is a good idea? I mean, he might be resting. He wouldn't be happy either knowing I came and just left like that, would he?" "I guess you're right. I doubt if he's resting, not when he..." The woman trailed off, walking away. Mma stared at her, dumbfounded. She didn't know what came over the woman, and she couldn't care less. She muttered, moving again towards Uche's room. How she wished he came back to meet her waiting for him. Anyway, she still got some surprise left. He wasn't expecting to see her till this afternoon, she thought. She turned the doorknob and opened the door, with a happy smile plastered on her face. The smile died on her face instantly. She didn't want to believe it. It could not be true. She couldn't be seen correctly, though she covered herself with a duvet, but it was obvious she was wearing nothing underneath. This was a nightmare. She was going to wake up any moment, she told herself. No dream could ever seem this real. On the floor were scattered clothes and underwear showing impatience. It didn't take a genius to know what had taken place, and Uche was nowhere to be seen. Where was he? She asked herself, amazed, refusing to believe what she was seeing. Then Angela turned, smiling at her and looking incredibly ruffled. "Hi," she greeted flippantly. Mma almost fainted as pain and betrayal tore at her heart and through her body. Just immediately, Uche came out of the bathroom looking so fresh and handsome. He was looking quite surprised to see her. The smile started on his face. "Sweetheart, what a..." But he stopped when he saw her stricken face. Then he followed her line of vision and saw Angela lying contentedly in the middle of the bed. "What are you..." he roared. "Ma, this is not what you think." He turned to Angela. "What are you doing?" He trailed off confused. "Not a good cover-up, darling," Angela cooed. "You bastard." Mma hissed at him and turned to go, but she thought better of it. Not without giving Angela one last embarrassment. She turned to face her with her hands on her hips, her face contorted with anger. "Get out of here now," daring Uche to oppose her. But he looked even angrier than her. Angela looked at Uche first and saw the ice in his eyes. Then he looked at Mma, seeing only her angry eyes ready to kill. She wrapped the duvet around her and picked up her scattered clothes, putting them on hastily and trying to hold on to the duvet at the same time. If Mma wasn't so angry, she would have laughed at the picture she made, but laughter was the last thing on her mind. "Funny attempt on modesty," she hissed at Angela as she ran past her. They turned to each other when Angela was gone. He moved close to her. "Mma, listen. This is not what you think. Stop it. Just stop it." She wiped the tears from her eyes. "I know what I saw." She twisted the engagement ring from her finger and threw it at him. "It was perfectly clear, the lesson you taught me." She ran out. She was shaking uncontrollably when she got to the car. She was feeling faint and had to blink severally to concentrate. She couldn't believe it. She didn't want to believe it. This couldn't be happening to her, she thought, dashing tears from her eyes angrily. Uche, whom she trusted so much? Why? She thought painfully, would he sleep with Angela of all women? So Angela had been right all along? She said Uche always came back to her, she painfully recalled. Then why make her fall in love with him, when it was Angela he obviously loved and wanted? Why go after other women when he knew he would always go back to Angela no matter what? Her heart constricted with bitter pain. "Oh God, give me the heart to bear this, or I'll die from the pain," she cried, letting her tears flow freely then. Once she got into her house, she ran inside and locked the door and flopped down on the couch crying bitterly. Her body shook with her sobs. She tried to pull herself together, but she couldn't. The pain tearing inside her was too much. How could he? How could he have the heart to do this to her? Then Angela's words came back to her. Do you honestly think that Uche is faithful to you? You and I both know how virile he is. Oh, she cried more bitterly. She knew how virile he was, just from his kisses and touch. She knew how passionate he would be. How could she have expected him to live a celibate life knowing this? I gave him a choice at the beginning. He could have opted out, knowing he wouldn't cope, she told herself firmly. But he didn't because he thought he could have his cake and eat it. He thought he could sleep around and still have a virgin bride waiting for him on his bed on his wedding night. She thought bitterly, her sobs breaking for a moment. He was a cheat and nothing but a liar, pretending he cared so much for her, even to the extent of asking her to marry him by this weekend, because he was getting to the end of his patience. And the fool she was, thinking it was because he loved her so much and couldn't wait for her to finally belong to him. And when she had insisted on the 27th, he easily turned to Angela, whom he swore he had nothing to do with. She gave a bitter laugh. What a fool she had been. I hate him so much. There was no way she was going to forgive him for this calculated betrayal. Yes, it was calculated, she realized. That was why he asked to see her in her boutique in the afternoon, so he would have enough time to bed Angela to his satisfaction. And in the afternoon he would have acted like the bewildered lover, telling her the fool she was, how much he loved her, and she would have been thrilled. She thought bitterly how he must have laughed at her, and possibly with Angela, going to her bed every night while spending the afternoon with the fool she was. But never again, she swore. Thank God I didn't change for him. If she had, he would have been long gone by then. She tried to wipe the tears still pouring from her eyes. A loud knock on her door startled her, and she knew immediately who it was at the door. She decided she wasn't going to open the door, but the knock continued and it got louder with each knock. But she adamantly refused to open the door. Mma, I know you are in there. You had better open this door before I destroy it. Go away. I don't want to ever see you again, she shouted back at him. If you don't open the door, I am going to remove it from its hinges, he threatened. But Mma stayed where she was, determined not to budge. She grew alarmed when she heard the door squeaking. He was actually going to do it, she thought, surprised. He was going to remove the door from its hinges. Angrily, she stood up and moved towards the door and threw it open. What do you want? Or did you by any chance miss your way to Angela's house? She rasped angrily. Shut up. Just shut up and listen, he said angrily, coming into the living room. I don't want to listen to you or any more of your lies. I know what I saw. What are you going to tell me? That I grew momentarily insane? Or that I didn't see clearly? Or probably my brain was not functioning as well as it should this morning? She laughed bitterly. Uche felt his heart twisting with pain when he saw how hurt she was. Not that he blamed her. He blamed the stupid housekeeper who let Angela in. If you will listen to me, I can explain, he said quietly. Listen? So you can tell me more lies? I thought Angela didn't mean anything to you. That you never had anything with her and would never have anything with her. I thought it was so because it's me you want and no one else. Lies. All calculated lies. But what you were hoping to achieve is what keeps me wondering. Did you think that I was going to give in to your voracious sexual appetite sooner or later, seeing how irresistible you are? Probably you thought a virgin is a rare catch these days and you wouldn't mind owning one. What was it you wanted to achieve with you? What? She was growing hysterical. None of the above. I fell in love with you. If I'd wanted to sleep with you without marriage, I would have taken advantage of your inexperience. I would have overwhelmed you with my experience. It would have been easy. I had a lot of opportunities to do so, and we came close the night before I traveled. I didn't need to propose to you. No, that line wasn't going to work. He didn't love her because if he loved her, he wouldn't have done this to her. He was only saying this so he could get away with betraying her. Liar! She screamed at him. Why did you have to wait till afternoon to see me? Was it not so you would have enough time to bed Angela? Uche heaved a sigh. He wasn't sure she would understand or believe him. If I had invited you this morning, with the way I was missing you, and what had nearly happened the last night we were together, do you have any idea what it did to me, holding your soft body and wanting it, And yet, knowing that you trusted me not to take advantage, I remembered how you felt in my arms as I landed. If I had seen you this morning with the way I was feeling then, I would have taken you to my bed. And my fear was that you would have allowed me. Then later you would have regretted your lack of integrity. I love you, Umma, and I want to make love to you and have you smile at me afterwards with your wonderful eyes. Umma was touched by his words. There was a ring of truth in them, but she couldn't get past what she saw. Angela on his bed naked, and him coming from the bathroom equally naked. No, she wouldn't believe his lies. She looked up at him. So he decided Angela was the best option. At least she would bring you the sexual satisfaction you needed. Maybe he loved her. She could see it in his eyes. But why was he lying about what she saw? Why not accept it? Couldn't he see that there was no way they could have a future together with that kind of huge unsolved betrayal between them? No, she thought. If he could still lie to her after all this, then what would happen when they were married? He didn't love her, she assured herself. He was just reluctant to lose a virgin. I didn't invite Angela. I didn't see her till I came out of that bathroom. Uche, other things I might forgive you, but I won't ever forgive you playing on my intelligence. I know what I saw. You are welcomed to Angela. It hurts now, but with time it will stop hurting, she said, turning her back on him.
In the still of the night, I think of you. My heart beats with every thought of you. You're the one I can't let go. In your arms I find my home. Love, sweet love.